right, it looks like everyone's starting to join us. Thank you. For those of you who do not have your cameras on, I highly recommend turning it on. Today is, the last workshop, so we'd love to see your faces. Yes. Come on, just a few more. The ongoing struggles. Oh, dressed up, yes. So exciting. Maybe a few more, not to call anyone out, but I will. Alyssa, Brandon. We'll give it another minute. Okay, great. Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you guys for turning on your cameras and attending. We're really, really excited to have you all here today. So welcome and thank you for joining us for our first Social Innovation Academy Demo Day. Today, we are celebrating the success of the first cohort, you guys. And this year, Vision Youth partnered with Ryerson Social Venture Zone, Ryerson School of Change Management, and the City of Toronto to offer a one-of-a-kind free online 5-month accelerator program, Social Innovation Academy, SIA. During the last 5 months, 32 motivated young individuals between 14 and 19 years old participated in workshops designed to teach the skills necessary to launch social impact projects, awareness campaigns, and nonprofit organizations. These 8 online workshops taught by industry and nonprofit experts taught our young leaders skills like social entrepreneurship, event planning, budgeting, research and development, and networking, all leading up to today, Demo Day, where you will be seeing teams pitch their social impact projects, and where the winning team will be the recipient of a $1,000 cash prize to seed their social solution. So before we commence, we've invited a special guest to help us launch our inaugural Demo Day and share a few words. Now I'd like to welcome the Honorable Mary Ng, Minister of Small Business, Export Promotion and International Trade, but most importantly, Member of Parliament for Markham Thornhill to deliver our welcoming remarks. Mary?
Thank you so much, Jessica. It's really terrific to be here with you and with everyone. Thank you for that kind introduction and good morning. It's great to see all the wonderful faces here. I'm so pleased to be here with our community's youth and to congratulate and to celebrate young leaders who are stepping up and bringing us into the future with your ideas and your social innovation. And today's celebration is possible thanks to so many months of hard work from many, starting with Eric Lee and of course, the Vision Youth Board of Directors, as well as the Ryerson Social Venture Zone and the Ryerson the Ryerson Institute of Change Management. There is something quite personal to me in all of those that I just mentioned because, I like to think that that I'm a part of that family too, having been a part of some of the early days at Ryerson, certainly, and Eric and Vision Youth and the incredible work that is done in my riding and in my community makes it feel very, very special and close to me. Before I begin with a few remarks, I just want to respectfully acknowledge that I'm joining from the traditional territory of the peoples of the Anishinaabe, the Wendat, the Haudenosaunee, the Mississaugas of the New Credit River. And in the context of this past year, it's really important that we recognize the strength and the resilience of our communities, and especially that of our young people. So all of you, our youth is not just the leaders of tomorrow, you're the leaders of today. And today's event and this demo day is a testament to the important innovative contributions that you have made towards solving the biggest issues facing our country and indeed the planet. And although we all can't be together in person, I'm really thrilled that technology has given us this opportunity to connect virtually and that we can hear from all of you and to celebrate all of your hard work, irrespective of the outcome at the end, which is sort of, one social venture. The truth of it is that you're all winners. And I just applaud all of you, the mentors, the partners in this, and for all of the work that we have done collectively together. I don't need to share with many of you this, but I'm going to, because I think it's important to recognize always Vision Youth, since its founding in 2001, has demonstrated a consistent commitment to empowering and mentoring young people. And the Vision Youth Social Innovation Academy really fosters that cutting edge thinking and the practical experience of solving community issues through workshops and mentoring. And by promoting that leadership, team building, public speaking, communication skills, participants from the Academy, whom I've met over the years, are really getting prepared to be local leaders, national leaders, and indeed leaders around our globe. So bravo. And just like entrepreneurs, great ideas are born from passion and dedication. And there's no question we're going to see that today. Our government is certainly committed to ensuring that young people have the support that they need to take their innovation, their ideas, and then turn them into action. And I'm looking forward in the coming year, and looking at this coming year, I mean, and those beyond, but certainly with optimism, and to hear the bright ideas and the solutions presented today, we're just reminded of the opportunities that really are around the corner, despite the challenges and the hardship that many people still continue to face. And I do want to acknowledge that. But the optimism is certainly there, and hearing from all of you is going to give us that sense of optimism because of the innovation and the solutions that I know every single one of you have been working on. But we're very committed as a government to building back better and creating opportunities for young people, encouraging innovation, and making sure that our future is more sustainable and more inclusive for all. And you're the architects of your future. Let me assure you of that, and the futures of those around you. Continue to strive for the best. And remember, we're going to be here with you every single step of the way. And today we celebrate you. We applaud your innovation, your resilience, and I can't tell you just how proud I am of all of you, and the young people who have the social impact projects, but certainly the organizations and all the mentors and everyone who has just come together. I always say that it's Team Canada and all of us that have helped weather us through these difficult times, and that is going to be very, very much needed today and into the future. So I want to congratulate every single one of the teams, and all the very best, and happy pitching, everybody. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you so much. Very inspiring words. Okay, guys, let's get started. And for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Jessica Figueroa. I am on the board of director of Vision Youth, and also the co-chair of the Social Innovation Academy program. So today we have 6 teams, 6 judges, and just a reminder that each team will have up to 10 minutes to pitch their social impact project. And after each pitch, each judge will be providing up to 1 minute of live feedback. This feedback, again, is not your score. It will just be given to give you a better sense of what you did well and areas where you can improve next time. And so we will be starting today with 3 teams, teams 1, 4, and 6, and we will break for about 5 minutes at about 11:10, 11:15, and then we'll continue with teams 2, 3, and 5. So once all teams present, the judges will break out and deliberate for about 15 minutes, and we'll come back to announce the winning team. So what the judges will be looking at while you pitch, they're going to be looking at 5 criteria. Innovation. Does your idea create value and new opportunities for the community? And does it offer benefits that are an improvement on previous efforts? Community connection. Does your idea address an underserved need, working on an issue or with a community that has not received sufficient attention, support, or resources? Impact. What is the potential direct benefit to the community or particular group that they have to gain from this idea? Feasibility. This is your team's quantifiable impact. Has your team begun to test your idea? Have you implemented metrics to quantify the benefits to the particular group or community? And is your idea grounded in reality to scale? And finally, your presentation. How well did you present your project idea? Did you come prepared to tell your story? Were you engaging? Did you bring everyone along listening to tell your story? And finally, as we experienced at our last workshop during the pitch workshop, mishaps and poor internet connectivity happens. So the judges will be looking at how well you handle live setbacks. Now, it's my honor to introduce the fellow judges today. Sarah Brigel. Sarah Brigel is a coordinator at the Social Venture Zone, a social enterprise incubator at Ryerson University, where she supports community members making social change through innovative business models. Sarah believes that social justice, activism, and diversity and inclusion are pathways to making a more sustainable world. Harvey Lowe. Harvey, with a degree in urban and regional planning, Harvey recently retired after 36 years of service with the City of Toronto. Congratulations. Both as an urban planner and social worker. His expertise focused on neighborhood planning, often working directly in the community with many nonprofit agencies, including involvement in city programs for at-risk youth. Dennis O. Young is the Chief Financial Officer of Concord Pacific Group and the Chair of Honorary Governors of the Mon Cheung Foundation. Saeed Haider is the lead of the Equity and Employment Working Group at Toronto Youth Cabinet. Saeed leads multiple initiatives to understand the impact of COVID-19 on youth employment and looks forward to building an equitable city for youth coming from marginalized communities. And certainly not least, Barbara Poucher, Board of Director of Vision Youth and co-chair of Social Innovation Academy program. She is an entrepreneur and growth marketer with a proven track record in developing and launching digital product with business impact in technology, B2C, and finance. So without further ado, I would like to invite the first team to present, Team 1.
"46% of post-secondary students report to be too depressed to fully function. This is because they don't have the proper ability to adapt to their new university or college life. Today, we are here to change that reality with our plan, Bridge the Gap. First of all, nice to meet you guys. I'm Kelly, and today I'm here with Andrea and Arethan. We are all soon-to-be university students who wish to have a successful and enjoyable university life. Today, we will be giving you guys a deeper insight into this ongoing issue, how we can help, and our plan for executing our ideas. Imagine you're someone who was quite successful and satisfied with your high school experience. Now you're in university or college and you're struggling a lot with getting through classes, not because you're not working hard enough, but because you're not equipped with the proper skills. Right now, you're just pushing through the year while constantly feeling uncertain about your performance, as it basically determines your future. This is unfortunately the reality for many post-secondary students. Izzy is a university freshman we contacted. Despite being the former president of the debate club who also had a job in high school, right now she's struggling a lot with her time management in university. She also states she hasn't been getting the grade she wishes because of the high expectations, which is making her feel that she won't get into her desired program next year. Canadian university researchers surveyed over 2,200 university students. Nearly half of them felt like their high school did not fully prepare them for what was to come, and over 2/3 said they would welcome a first-year course in academic skills such as effective studying, critical thinking, and writing a university standard. To summarize everything I've mentioned, in Canada, there is a significant skills gap between high school and university. People in the gap usually just keep moving forward without trying to solve the problem from the root. This issue comes from a mismatch between the lack of training on essential skills in high school curriculum and the expectations in university and the real world. Crucial skills, including analytic and critical thinking skills, time management, writing and reading comprehension are essential for students to handle the work they will face If this problem continues, these students will be vulnerable to failing, meaning the future of the humankind who depends on them will also be vulnerable to failing. So now I will be passing it on to Adrian.
We know changes are scary and we are here to help. We want to save you from the cycle of fear and anxiety. We believe in the power of community. We want to give you the opportunity to equip yourself with life-saving skills, such as analytical and critical thinking skills, academic writing strategies. And we want to help you regain confidence and get a jump start in your whole new adventure. To break down how we are bridging the gap, we have three components. First, we know there are a lot of resources on the internet and it is not efficient to go through everything while learning new skills. As a solution, our platform will crowdsource materials that can teach you the most in the shortest period of time. Secondly, it is no good if you cannot apply your newly learned skills to actual problems you may encounter. So we will provide accessible practice tools for users to consolidate what they've learned. Moreover, we know nothing beats listening to the advice from the experts in this aspect. We will invite professionals in education, coaching, etc. to give our users some tips and university seniors to share their experience firsthand. Naturally, our primary target audience is high school students who wishes to be better equipped for the transition to university or college. And also, we want to recruit people who have their expertise to offer, hence community powers community. By training Canadian youths in these skills, we believe they will be better prepared for a transition to post-secondary education and the challenges their future has to offer. Here are some of the objectives we'll be working on for our platform to roll out in the coming months. First, we'll acquire resources, then disseminate the resources to our platform, and finally promote ourselves to our target user. Nivivan will explain each step in more details later. As mentioned, we would invite professionals to form a content coalition. We want to invite qualified and accredited educators and programs with proven results to work with us, because we believe that this program could change people's life, and we are extra careful in selecting credible and effective resources. While we were choosing the platform to deliver our content, a few ideas came to our mind. We thought about building our own website because its customizability, but it would be too demanding in time and money. We also considered using one of the several popular social media platforms. Sadly, none of them fits our goal of accessibility for students while being compatible with the formats we will be using. And we ended up with Rumi.org. It is a compatible platform that meets all our requirements. They're education focused, their content are offline usable, they support all formats, and most importantly, they're free. And they even offer data analytics. By analyzing anonymized user behaviors and feedback, they improve the Rumi Learn platform and by its design to create the most engaged and effective learning. They also have a strong community of educators and organizations behind them. They're a partner with organizations like telecoms, digital university initiatives. They share their mission to empower communities to learn anywhere, and we can help them grow this community to high school and university students. And in return, we would offer a repository of content on analytical and critical thinking skills. These are soft and human skills that machine cannot replicate. Moving on, we will have Nivivan to share how our plan exactly works.
How it works. So step one, we will plan to add content through rumi.org, in which we will create our content and add it on the website so people can access it. Step two is we will promote the content through social media. We'll use social media such as Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, as they are fast-growing social media used by our target audience. Another thing we will do is showcasing stories from university and college students and their challenges, getting their feedback, and we can learn what exactly is needed to help the future students who are going into university. Step three is we will invite our target audience to view content on Rumi. We will focus on four main areas: analytical critical thinking, writing, personal finance, and social. For analytical critical thinking skills, we will focus on different types of thinking and scenarios, such as creative and logical thinking. For writing, we will be focusing on how to use the right words when, for example, writing a resume, proofreading an essay, document, anything like that. We believe writing is very important as you will probably have to do it very often in the future. Personal finance, as in the future you will need to learn how to manage your own money, as high school and university doesn't fully teach you that. We believe this will be a great benefit in the future. Our goal is to target Toronto area first year universities and college students. Our timeline. For March, we plan to create our website and social media profiles and our roomie profile. April, we plan to do our partner outreach by contacting different partners in which we could work with. July, we plan to start working more with Rumi and creating more designs and content. And from August to September, this will be more of a promoting time in which we will focus more on social media campaigns and university tours in which we could promote the platform even more. Our budget. So for our budget, we have four main things we will be focusing on. Social media, in which we will need to use to create content, stock purchase images, and music licensing. We estimate this will come up to around $750. Our next item is promoting at university campuses, such as the University Fair, College Fair. We estimate this will come to around $1,000. Thirdly is our website. We plan to create a website just to keep in a bit of information about us, in which we will need to pay for domain and hosting fees through Wix, which is a free website developer. We estimate this will come up to like $500. And finally, print collateral, in which we will be printing the posters and designs to spread out the word. We estimate this will cost around $250. Our total budget is around $2,500 for the year. What we will measure. We'll be measuring under four things: number of content views, number of users, survey results, and critical thinking test results. For content views, we'll be talking about what is more effective, well-liked, and most views using Rumi Analytics. For number of users, our goal is to aim for 200 active users for the first year. Through survey results, we'll find out what university graduates information on what is needed, and we could interview participants to know better on what we could improve on our platform. And finally, critical thinking test results, we could use it to figure out what is needed and give like certain scenarios in which we could teach the high schoolers like what scenario would be better to improve the students. Our goal. So our goal is to aim for 200 student users to use our platform, 10 partnerships, whether it's with universities, teachers, and student associations, 50 pieces of content in which the students could go look at, and 200 followers on our social media page. Thank you for listening, and we believe that this is a very important situation. And as the high schoolers are the future of tomorrow, we believe they need to learn the skills necessary to survive in this world. Thank you.
That was great. Thank you, guys. So we're going to go to our judges for a little bit of feedback, starting with Sarah.
Great. Thanks so much. I really see that you've put a lot of work and energy into this since the last time we saw you pitch. So kudos to you for that. What I really liked was that you had a clear definition of your client persona. So you had a good idea of who you were marketing to. What I would have liked to see more of is if this sort of intervention has worked anywhere else. So if you've seen in other parts of the country or other parts of the world, if this sort of bridge from high school to university level courses is something that has brought students up to that level where they aren't feeling like they can't adapt to the college life, just so that we have a little bit more of a proof of concept before moving forward with building out a platform and bringing resources together for that. But otherwise, a really great pitch. And I really liked how you reiterated the problem statement after you kind of went through the client persona.
Great. Thank you. Harvey?
Well, I thought it was well done, really. You guys had a very clear goal. You had a very clear objectives. Excellent presentation of metrics and how you're going to monitor this through number of users. You stated targets. One of the things that's often missed in a lot of projects is an overemphasis of a problem. You guys, I think, have nailed it. Although I would agree with Sarah that just need a little bit more context. I find sometimes what helps in these things, if you have some user experiences to say that this is an issue. Other than that, I thought you did a terrific job. Your presentation and handoff by the baton to the next speaker was very smooth. And there wasn't a lot of use of ums and ahs, and you know what I mean. So really, really, really well done and really thought out. Thank you.
Great. Saeed?
Yeah, I would like to echo the same words. I think it was, I guess one thing I will add is the fact that I think the presentation in itself was really, really well done. Some of the notes I made was like, I knew in the beginning what the problem was. I knew the stats behind it. So that was really nice to see. One thing I would have actually liked to see a bit more of, or maybe a bit more focus on, were some specific focuses of the programs. For example, I saw you talk about creative thinking and logical creative writing, I believe, and logical thinking, and then also resume building. And those seem very broad topics. I would have maybe liked to see how you would think about how you can talk about specific things as well. But other than that, very solid presentation.
Great. Dennis?
I congratulations on Team 1. They did a very good job. And my comment on that is that the presentation or the feasibility study are doing very well. And but this topic, the gap between high school and university, has been it has been a topic for in many occasions, and for it's always an issue for the young people. So up to now, it seems that there's still no good solution to how to connect the gap, but the team has done a very good job and the presentation is excellent. Thank you.
Great. And then finally, Barbara.
Yes, congratulations Team 1 on your presentation. It was very impressive. I really enjoyed watching it. I think most of the judges kind of covered some really great points already, but if I had something to add, I would just say, you know, I really appreciated the work that went into the research of the problem, especially kind of a lot of the quoting credible sources, secondary sources. I think what would have been interesting was to see further research on kind of primary sources, like actually speaking to university students, high school students, and getting that data of why, is there truly that problem? And if so, you know, I know you had mentioned in your pilot that you would do these surveys results, but I think it would be helpful to have seen some of that kind of from the get-go. But otherwise, I thought it was very well done and very proud.
Great. Team 1, good job. All right, next up, Team 4.
Sorry, I just have to exit full screen. Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Simone, and today, Kyla, Brandon, Luther, Janet, and I are very excited to have you with us here today. Several months ago, we came together as a group, each of us passionate about the issue of vaping among youth, and we hope you will consider our solution for this significant issue.
We enter another era. We see more of our young loved ones, close friends, and teenagers having more of an interest in vaping as it has been widely popularized. Parents are so concerned for their teens, students are accustomed to vaping in school washrooms, and younger children are heavily influenced by the attention around vaping.
E-cigarette aerosol is not harmless water vapor. Between the years 2015 to 2017, 22.8% of vape users were reported to be youth, ranging from ages 15 to 19. 12.6% of Canadian students as young as grades 7 to 9 have reported trying an e-cigarette. However, as students who witness this issue daily, we recognize that not all students are open to reporting their consumption, thus skewing the numbers. Adding to this, it has been recorded that over 2,800 lung injuries and deaths in the US were associated with vaping. E-liquids contain nicotine that are harmful for brain development and can aid in the development of known carcinogens. The nicotine present in 1 joule is equal to 20 cigarettes, strictly emphasizing the grave dangers of e-cigarettes that many youth do not recognize today.
We found that the growing number of youth vapers are largely due to peer pressure, wavering mental health, and the ignorance towards adverse health effects. Furthermore, vape companies do not find the need to deter young vapers through health warnings on vape packages and e-juice flavors, making vaping more appealing to our peers. Unfortunately, many teens are unreceptive to other anti-vape organizations such as Health Canada, Drug Free Kids Canada, and Parents Against Vaping.
With this in mind, we recently started the Eliminate Vape Association, also known as EVA. We are a nonprofit organization who are going to address this issue. We are taking a preventive approach to stop its growth, as well as specifically targeting a younger audience around ages 11 to 19. So how are we different? As a youth-led nonprofit, and by using more engaging methods, we are more appealing to youth and giving the chance that we understand them much more as us, ourselves, or teens than, for example, Health Canada. We will also be mainly focusing on topics of health effects, mental health, and peer pressure, which are the main contributors to this issue.
Here's our timeline for what we have done so far and what we plan to do in the future. In order to fully cater to youth, in January and February, we have been making informative posts on Instagram and TikTok. We have also been holding polls and surveys that engage youth in our content and gather useful feedback. Currently, we have over 100 followers and we are growing at a fast rate. Here are some of the encouraging comments people have been leaving on our posts. The gist of these messages are explaining how others cannot wait for our future projects. We've also received so many more messages giving us helpful advice, feedback, and general support. Here are the demographics of our followers.
Looking to the future, by the end of March, we will have launched our website. Firstly, it will have informational articles such as researched health effects and how to help a friend get off vaping. We will also have inspiring stories of young people and their journey to quit vaping, making it more relatable to our audience. Secondly, our website will have fun quizzes that provide a blurb of information and facts after each answer. And thirdly, we will plan a contest in which people can submit their artistic and written pieces on the topic of anti-vape. These will help keep our young audience engaged and allow the community to feel part of the action. During the month of April, we will expand EVA by recruiting more people such as article writers and graphic designers. This will ensure that our organization is organized and sustainable throughout the years. We will also begin contacting researchers, speakers, institutes, and organizations to feature in our workshops, webinars, and videos. Our long-term goals are to move from just raising awareness to making a concrete impact. Thus, once we have further developed, we plan to collaborate with school boards and target both high schools and elementary schools. We will also take on larger projects during the summer, such as holding events and social media campaigns.
Although we have made many future plans, we have already made a significant impact. An anonymous user contacted us, explaining how our posts made him feel less isolated. He originally felt peer pressure to vape, and said if we expanded and gathered more information and attention, then he would be less pressured too. Seeing the impact we've already made, we know we can continue to make an even bigger impact with time and resources.
To maintain our organization, we will spend $14 a month for our own Wix domain and website to make us much more accessible to the public. We will also need to spend $155 to become a federally registered nonprofit. Lastly, there will be additional amounts for future events and campaigns we mentioned. We will financially sustain our organization through donations, sponsors, grants, and perhaps merch in the future.
All in all, the opportunity for $1,000 in funding from Social Venture Zone will help us to take that crucial step forward so that EVA can make further impact in the lives of young people, in the lives of every student, our young loved ones, our friends. We need immediate action before the situation gets worse, and our organization will engage youth in ways other organizations do not. So today, we ask you to join us in working to stop vaping among youth, and together we can strive towards a healthier, more productive future. Thank you. We're really looking forward to any questions and feedback.
Thank you. You guys did great. What a great idea. Sarah?
Great, thank you. Again, really great work since the last time I saw your pitch. And as I said the last time, I'm personally invested into this because I have quite a few friends who are older than you folks who are really into vaping. I thought it was really interesting that 1/5 of users are so young as well. I was shocked to see that they were in such a young age demographic, and that definitely plays into the demographic that you folks are targeting. I would have liked to see some examples of the campaigns that you are trying to do. I think, you know, private messaging on Instagram isn't sustainable at scale. You're not going to be able to do that with every single user who needs help or wants help. So thinking about what sort of campaigns you'll do and showing us that. And then also, you know, the realistic fact that people are addicted to vaping, like it's a true physiological addiction. So what sort of resources are you going to provide for people in that sense? But I really liked how you were playing into the relatability factor. I'm not on TikTok, but I know that a lot of young activists are getting onto TikTok with their campaigns. So I thought that was a great idea. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Harvey?
Well, I must say that if I were in your shoes at that, I certainly wouldn't have done such a great presentation when I was that. Yeah, so kudos to a fantastic presentation. Love the design and graphics. Sometimes that may seem small, but you need that to catch an audience attention. So well done on your design. I really like the way you've defined the problem. I won't go over too many of the other things other than to say that I thought you really did well, handed off the baton again very well. I think the only thing that I could add is sometimes it's not only the youth and the children that are potentially going to be vaping, and that we don't want that, but also the impacts that will have on their families and their parents. And maybe a consideration, without making the scope too broad, is to add some of those pieces and reach out and see what the perspectives of parents and families are who may not understand this important issue. But otherwise, really well done. And I like the way that you had 10 minutes and you did it in 7.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Saeed?
Again, very good presentation. One of the things I really liked about your presentation was, I think, the groundwork that you guys have already done. So it was really nice to see the messages. It was really nice to see the actual demographic of people you're reaching out to, and they happen to be the focus group who is affected the most by this problem. One thing I would actually like to see an improvement in is really how your association plans to be different from many other anti-vaping or organizations that focus on kind of being skeptical of vaping, because there's many out there. And you already mentioned your answer is the fact that it's from a perspective of youth, but you need to, I think, sell that a bit more, because that's what differs your association from the many organizations that are out there. So getting back, Harvey already mentioned this, but probably try to get your own perspectives from your own friends in, and I think that will make your overall idea a bit better.
Thank you.
Dennis?
The team thought did a very good job, and I myself like the topic very much, and this I think it will definitely help a lot of young people, and this maybe become a serious issue in the young community, and they did a very good job, and the study are also quite complete and a good presentation, and I myself like the topic. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Barbara.
Great. Wonderful presentation, guys. I really, really enjoyed it. And yes, I commend you definitely on the presentation itself, as well as the amount of work that I know you put into understanding and researching the problem. I think the one thing I would have liked to see more of is just the budget aspect of it in terms of how you will use the money over maybe defining the duration of your pilot, for example, and showing us like how will you use these funds effectively to help you expand, your ideas. You had a lot of great ideas. It was just not clear to me kind of how you will systematically, approach creating those solutions. I would have just liked to see a little bit more detail there, as giving out $1,000 in terms of funds to support a pilot program. I would like to see, how will you actually track and use this money, and how, every dollar will go towards making an impact. But I think it was a great starting point. It was really impressive. And the other point I think is more on, I know you guys already started doing the work. It would have been interesting as a judge to see some of the sample content that you've been posting and the types of feedback you've been getting. I know you guys have been doing some great job there, so it would have been nice to see in your presentation. Otherwise, great job.
Thank you very much for all the feedback. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You guys did so well. Okay, team 6.
Good morning, investors and judges. We are Team 6, and our group name is Youth on Youth. Our group addresses on the issue of youth unemployment. Next slide. So this is our team.
Hello, I'm Melissa Archer. I'm in grade 10, and as a Black female, I want to go into the medical profession to become a plastic surgeon.
Hello, I'm Brandon. I'm a grade 9 student, and my dream job is to work at Google as an engineer.
Hi, I'm Alec, and I'm a grade 10 student looking to become a well-known music artist.
Hello, I'm Jason. I'm a grade 11 student working towards a job in real estate.
Next slide.
$35,000 to $45,000 youth between the ages of 13 to 24 have been reported homeless in Canada, and on any given night there are about 6,500 homeless young people. That isn't a great number to see, but with our program we're going to limit it there and maybe even bring those numbers down. You can see the graph on the left there. Anyways, lack of employment opportunities is a big issue. There are many factors that cause homelessness, and that is one of the most notable and one of the most important ones to look at. It is particularly important for youth to get a solid education and perhaps even experience in the workforce to end up with a living wage. Unfortunately, the vast majority of jobs available to the homeless youth are part-time, seasonal, low wage, and or without benefits.
So there is a new skills gap. Because of COVID-19, there's an increase of unemployment and further disadvantages for vulnerable groups. So immediate attention is required to prepare young people to earn and thrive during and after the global pandemic.
This is a story of a young girl successfully transitioning past homelessness. Olivia was afraid of living alone because of having no job and very few survival skills. She started looking into what kind of transitional places she could go to due to a fear of living on market rent all by herself, which was obviously not a good choice because of no consistent pay or life skills as stated before. Olivia was accepted into a transitional housing facility known as Eva's Phoenix. Having spent a year at the transitional housing facility and then moved out into the community on her own, she is now 20 years of age. The factor that made this journey of getting out of homelessness successfully was the connections that were made between the staff and the members, because mental support is what can really create a drive to get out of a bad situation, as stated in the original article, and that is what we want to focus on youth. As stated by World Economic Forum, with the COVID-19 pandemic causing a loss of nearly 200 million jobs, it has created interruptions to education and a disproportionate impact on vulnerable groups. Therefore, preparing the young to learn, earn, and thrive in a post-COVID reality requires immediate attention.
Reskilling and upskilling youth. The technical skills required for most sectors to quickly become outdated due to the rapid changes in technology and spread of automation. The World Economic Forum projects that by 2022, at least 54% of all employees will need reskilling and upskilling to respond to changing work requirements. That's astonishing because it's over half of the workforce population. Top 10 skills in 2015. Complex problem solving is at the top. Critical thinking is 4th. Creativity is 10th, and negotiation is 5th. But when we go to 2020, complex problem solving is still 1st, but critical thinking has moved up to 2nd. And when creativity was all the way down at 10, it's moved up to 3rd. And cognitive flexibility is at the end. In 5 years, which is like a small span, all these skills have been rearranged and put into new ranks because due to our rapidly evolving world. And we want to give youth the leg up by reskilling them and upskilling them for today's society. Which brings us to our solution. We propose a youth support program that will prepare young people for today's challenge by offering them workshops taught by experts that will train the leaders we need to prepare all adolescent and young adults to learn, discern, and earn. Our mission and vision. Our mission is to provide youth with the training support they need to escape the cycle of poverty and leave the streets behind. Our vision is sharing and growing community where everyone can earn a living wage. Program principles. Learn. To participate and thrive in a rapidly evolving world, youth must become power learners. Discern. In a flood of information, youth must discern what is factual and reliable. Earn. Building power and adaptable learners, resourceful and entrepreneurial earners. Our project timeline. Stage 1. We want to build partnerships with experts and learning providers to create our content and put our content on a website that we would build. Stage 2, we want to build partnerships with transitional homes to offer our programs to, and build partnerships with local employers to provide opportunities for the youth in a workforce. In Stage 3, we want to source sponsors and government grants to help us build our social media and promote our program.
All right, so how we will deliver our solution. All right, so our group has spoken with the Yes Shelter and Petersboro and learned that many shelters have existing problems that address and without these resources, they won't be allowed to keep their programs up to date. Additionally, existing staff require more training to address some of the problems faced by the vulnerable youth, particularly additional problems due to COVID-19. Our group has learned that we need to offer programs through a different channel that shelters because youth in shelters in survival mode and are looking for a safe place to eat and rest. Youth in transitional homes are in place where they are in recovery mode, so they're more open to help and getting reintroduced to the workforce.
Number of jobs from our participants. Sorry, I can hear an echo. I guess I'll continue. Okay, so we can keep track of the number of jobs from participants. This will tell us whether or not if our training will be applied to real life by them. Then we can keep track of local unemployment rates. Our intention is to curb this number, and by taking into account of this data, this will show us the impact and success of our project. We can also record the number of homeless youth over an extended period of time to tell us the long-term impacts of this project. Finally, we can log the involvement of our participants to judge how engaging our program is, as well as to what we can do to improve it. Next. Here's a sneak peek of how we plan to present our project to the public during quarantine. And as you can see, it is a website. On this website, we plan on introducing as well as developing effective communication skills, so we can encourage them to share and discuss ideas. We can do critical thinking, teaching how to identify facts, bias, as well as how to infer solutions. Then we can also teach problem solving by giving them puzzles ranging from simple time management skills as well as personal and business budgeting. Finally, there's creative thinking. We can help them brainstorm and discuss with other people and experts that will help approaching new perspectives. Continuing on, there's another section of the website that talks about our project. It's like an About Us page. We also plan on using this platform to provide classes and also training and other counseling services where we can put our plan into action.
Thank you for listening, and I hope our project Youth on youth has a big impact on youth unemployment.
Thank you. Yeah, let's start with Sarah.
Great, thanks. I really liked how you acknowledged the difference of where youth were at in shelters versus transitional homes. I think you have a good understanding of meeting youth where they're at, not getting them at that survival mode, but getting them at that time when they are looking to transition out of that precarity that they're in. I would have liked to see a little bit more development around how you are going to deliver these services. A lot of times platforms are the easy go-to for things like this, but there are a lot of resources out there on the internet now. So what's the difference between what you folks are doing and what's already out there? So having a little bit more daylight between existing resources and maybe thinking how you can put something in the hands of youth so that you know that they're going to be using it, rather than having something out on the internet where you won't really get a sense of if they're accessing it or not. Otherwise, I think you took a very empathetic approach to a very complex problem that needs solving. So thank you for doing the work on that.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. Harvey.
Yeah, so very well done. This topic, of course, is front and center, particularly at COVID. Normally, youth unemployment rates are double the adult unemployment rates. And now with COVID, that gap is even more. So the topic is certainly high on mind. I thought you did quite well in presenting the issue. I like the idea that you used a user experience at the beginning of all this. Just a few things. I think, and you mentioned that you're going there, but I'd like to see just a little bit more on how you're going to partner with agencies, and that's really where rubber hits the pavement. That I think a lot of youth would like to see where they can apply for jobs, what types of jobs those are. There's a lot of community-based agencies that have those job postings, government as well, and maybe to have those resources in there as well. Otherwise, I thought it was quite good. Thank you very much.
Great. Saeed?
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. I liked it quite a bit, probably because I'm biased here. I am the Equity and Employment Working Group. So one of the things I actually really liked is at least on an abstract level, how you will plan on addressing this issue, through community partnering. And I think you talked about from going from a smaller scale, talking with youth individually, to actually building more partnerships on a larger scale. So that was nice to see, and I actually really like the fact that you got the feedback from the ES organization in as well. So it's showing that you're already proactive about this. I think one thing that could have improved the pitch for me was slightly more restructuring of the issue, the problem in itself, because you were kind of going back and forth between youth unemployment and youth homelessness, and those are definitely correlated, but they're also to a certain degree distinct problems. So in the beginning, I was like, which one are you going to focus on? So if you I think focus on youth unemployment and say that it has impact on many different things, which it does, I think that can make your pitch slightly better.
Great, thank you. Dennis?
Hey, congratulations to Team 6, and they did a very good job. And the idea of improving the homeless and jobless for youth is always a good idea. And they have done a lot of research to help to have the idea to help the youth. But I still think that it is a quite a challenging task for the youth to do to achieve their goal, and maybe they require a lot of resources, which I do not see how they get the specifically how to get the resources to achieve their goal. But anyway, it is a very good presentation for to help the youth. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And Barbara.
Yeah, I agree. I think definitely commend the team on a wonderful job. I definitely commend you guys on actually picking a very complex problem. And in the short 5 months, I definitely have taken the time to understand this complex problem. And great job on the presentation as well. Couple things I would have liked to see is, because it's such a complex problem, when it comes to the plan, the actual budget for your pilot, I would have probably liked to see, a little bit more information and detail on how you are going to do this. I know you kind of talked about a lot of different points, whether it's partnering with organizations to deliver your program or the type of content, but it would probably be interesting for you to actually present a case of okay, is your pilot going to be working with one specific organization to deliver one program that's over a course of X amount of time that will reach these types of people in this area? So really drilling it down to specific details. I think you guys are in the right direction. Definitely have the start of something great. But I think maybe a little bit more time invested in just kind of building out those details, putting some numbers and actual concrete actionable items behind your plan would have been nice to see.
Great, thank you. So that is a wrap for the first part. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break. So let's regroup around 11:12, and then we'll start our presentations off with team 2. So team 2, get ready. All right, see you all at 11:12. Okay.
Right.
Is everyone back? I'm going to ask everyone to put their cameras on again. We'll give it another minute or so. Be a few more cameras, a few more people, come on. Okay, let's get started. Team 2.
All right. Hi, everyone. So thank you so much for joining us today. We would like to introduce you to Project Bawajigan. We are a nonprofit social enterprise that is providing a new way for you to support Indigenous peoples. Our idea is to build an Instagram account that firstly educates the public on why they should care, and secondly, provide a platform for Indigenous entrepreneurs to promote their businesses and share their story.
On today's agenda, we'll be sharing our personal stories, how we're tackling in our solution.
We chose the name Bawajigan, the Anishinaabe word for dream or vision, to signify our vision of a better future for Indigenous peoples.
So meet our team. My name is Carissa and I am the marketing director. I'm currently in grade 12 and I attend St. Robert Catholic High School. For me, despite participating in and witnessing various social initiatives, I noticed that there was a stark lack of support for Indigenous peoples. And after learning about the issues that they still face today, I was inspired to take action.
Hi everyone, I'm Shawnee and I'm the lead graphic designer. I'm in grade 9 at Darcy Community High School. In elementary, I was really lucky to have a teacher that was really passionate about water on Indigenous reserves. And ever since then, I've had a passion for learning about Indigenous issues.
Hello, I'm Anson. I'm the Chief of Research and Development, and I'm a first-year student at the University of Toronto. I'm passionate about this issue because I feel that Indigenous issues were not addressed well enough in high school, and young people, especially now, need to be aware of them.
And I'm Ezio. I'm grade 10 at Alexander Mackenzie High School. I'm the communication executive of the team. I learned a lot about the Indigenous society and current issues, and I really hope that others will support this cause. Today, There are many Instagram pages that have successfully created impact through social media activism, so we wanted to build on and empower this community. However, we noticed a trend that there was a lack of tangible action that consumers could take beyond awareness. Our mission is to build a platform that showcases unique indigenous goods and services tailored to teenagers and young adults so that they can make meaningful change. This includes, but is not limiting to handmade jewelry, clothing, and music.
So why does this all matter? Why should you care about these issues? Canada has a dark and extensive history of discrimination and genocide against the Indigenous peoples. Over 150,000 Indigenous children were forced to attend residential schools between 1870s and 1990s. Yet, even though decades have passed, discrimination continues to prevail against this community. Why is it that today around 80,000 living survivors and thousands more children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren are still affected by these past experiences?
Systemic discrimination is especially apparent in the economic injustice that exists. Did you know in 2015, 81.9% of the First Nation on reserve were in the bottom half of the income distribution, in contrast to the 49.2% of the overall Canadian population. Moreover, 35.4% of Indigenous women received their money from government transfers. This means that your tax money is going towards supporting the incomes of Indigenous peoples. Why is this the case? You can instead directly support them. This is a much more sustainable and long-term solution that not only benefits the businesses, but also us consumers.
Issues commonly faced by Indigenous businesses include 1. A lack of financing and ability to gain loans. 2. Low income and education, which limits their ability to build equity to invest in a business. Lack of financial services, large customer bases, and suppliers due to living in remote areas. And 4. Lack of business infrastructure and reliable internet. We will be tackling the third issue by providing businesses with an online, easily accessible marketplace.
Authentic reconciliation begins with awareness and empathy. We believe that all people have a role to play in this reconciliation.
So here is our model. Firstly, we want to educate. Educate the general public on the current Indigenous issues and reduce the knowledge and the gap in knowledge that currently exists. Secondly is to empower. Empower Indigenous artisans by sharing their unique stories and providing them with this online platform to bring their goods to a wider market. And third is to connect these two cultures of the general public with the Indigenous peoples through our two pillars of education and action.
So here's a preview of our platforms. We chose to use the popular platform Instagram, which targets our audience of teenagers/young adults, as well as a website, which includes more thorough information.
Here are some of our posts that we have posted throughout the 3 weeks we have since we've launched. And over the last few months, we have reached out to 2 Indigenous organizations to learn more about this community and real problems they are facing. The Legacy of Hope Foundation is a national Indigenous charitable organization that aims to create awareness and understanding about the residential school system. We also reached out to the Anishinaabe Health Foundation, which provides a comprehensive approach to healthcare to the Indigenous community. With the guidance of these organizations, we are committed to providing accurate and relevant information to our audience.
Here is our timeline. In January, we began with outreach by partnering with local Indigenous organizations to gain resources and advice. And in February, we're going to launch our online platform each week and we'll showcase new businesses. In March, we're going to promote. By doing so, we're going to run a social media campaign, which includes a raffle, interactive challenges, and Instagram takeovers to drive traffic to the store. And in April, we're going to support by providing ongoing support, receive feedback from stakeholders for improvement.
So how can you help us? We are asking you for $1,000 in order to run our operations. This includes maintaining our website and domain, funding social media campaigns such as the raffles and giveaways that we will do in partnership with the businesses, as well as promotions such as Instagram ads to grow our platform.
Here's our pilot goals and we'll measure our impact. 1, we'll track our social media followers and engagement activity. For our pilot, we aim to reach at least 2,000 followers. 2, we'll track the number of Artesians who use our platform. Our goal is 100. We also contact endorsed businesses to see if their sales and profits have grown. And last, we use Google Analytics to track how many people visit our website and view the content.
Here are just some of the amazing comments of what people have posted on our Instagram page so far. This proves that there is a need for our service, and it's just exciting to see how we are helping the issue and the impact we are having. We asked our audience this question, and here are just some of the responses we received. Through our platform, we hope to generate more discussions just like this and communicate with real people to listen to the opinions and concerns of both Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples and see how we can address them accordingly.
Ultimately, by spreading awareness on various Indigenous issues and empowering artisans using our platforms, we hope to bring down the number of 81.9% of people in the lower half of the income distribution to 50%, where it should be, while simultaneously contributing to reconciliation and the well-being of all people.
Thank you so much for listening to our presentation. If you'd like to learn more, please visit our website, projectbawajigan.wordpress.com, and also follow our Instagram page at project_Bawajigan. Join us in building a better society by supporting Indigenous communities through education and action. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great presentation. Thank you. Sarah?
Thanks so much. You're tackling a very nuanced issue that is complex and rooted in historical systemic racism. So there's a lot of things that you need to unpack and tackle with this. So kudos to you for starting to do that. I would like to know a little bit more about why the current artisans aren't connected widely to the consumer market. My suspicion is that there may not be like a huge artisan craft market there. I know that fishing and hunting is a big revenue source for Indigenous people who are living on reserves. I know people who do go up to reserves to purchase that. So I'm just thinking in the future, maybe you want to think about other products to include other than just artisan crafts. And just thinking about tax regulations, like I know that some folks just do it a little bit under the table due to tax regulations, something to think about. And I just wanted to say that I think it's great that you've done some partnership development with Indigenous organizations. It's really important to make sure that their voices are included. I mean, this goes for every single project that's presented today, but when you have the target market in mind, you want to make sure that they're included in the development process. So it looked like you started talking to 2 really great organizations. So good job.
Thank you.
Hello?
Yep.
Hi, this is Harvey.
Yeah, great presentation. There's one word I picked up from Sarah's comment. That one word is systemic. I think if there's anything to mention about this issue, the issue is systemic, right? It's systemic racism, it's systemic problems in the system, regardless of what it might be, from housing to unemployment. Same types of systemic issues we see with the Black community. So having said that, I think it's important to not only talk about the problems and issues, but how these systemic problems can be mitigated and resolved. I like the idea of connecting in the marketplace, but I also agree that there's probably other aspects in there that would be useful to address as well. One minor thing, in terms of your monitoring, and I suppose this comment applies to all the groups, just without being technical, there's a difference between outputs and outcomes. Outputs are counting things like web hits, how many people use a program, and those are fine. I think in this case, particularly, an outcome measure would be useful. And that's where you do public surveys of people and their experiences using tools like SurveyMonkey. There's a whole pile of them. Because those life stories and user experiences are incredibly important in I think, giving more power to the purposeness of your work. But otherwise, really well done on an important topic. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, and just to add on, We definitely recognize that it's a systemic issue, which is why we're trying to focus more also on the awareness aspect and just educating people on ensuring that they know exactly what is happening.
Right.
Great, thank you. Saeed?
I really liked your pitch. I think it's a very complex topic, and you're trying to tackle it, and you're very grounded about what you are able to do, and not going or making very broad claims about what you can do. So that's one thing I really liked about your overall pitch. It was very grounded each step. It wasn't that you were thinking too far ahead. You were thinking about what is the issue and how you're going to use social media to actually tackle it. One of the things that I would have liked to see more of is, I think, and some of the other judges already pointed this out, I think you need to talk a bit more about the individual issues that are faced by Indigenous communities, and there's so many of them. And so in the beginning, you could talk about stats, but maybe get some health perspectives in there as well. And at the end, I think you showed that you would like to reduce that income differential, but there is so many other measures of improvement of the health and quality of life of a community of people. So I would really like to see a more focus on what are the individual issues that Indigenous communities face and how this program might help to alleviate those.
Thank you for your feedback.
Dennis?
The team did a very good job, and they have the courage to pick a very complicated and challenge topic to and go to achieve. And they did a very good job and do the research, and the presentation are very good. So that I congratulate the teamwork. Thanks.
Thank you.
And Barbara?
Yeah, so first off, love the backgrounds. I love how you guys coordinated your backgrounds, so very cool. In terms of your presentation, I really loved it. I love the fact that you kind of took the social enterprise approach and looked at exploring a business model to potentially help solve this problem. I also really liked how you started talking to your end users, like the people that you're looking to help, and actually getting their feedback in terms of how you should be building the solution versus saying, okay, well, I read a bunch of articles, I read a bunch of reports, and I think this is the best way to resolve it. So I really like the fact that you guys went to the people and you're like, okay, we're going to build a solution around what you need. And I really love the fact that because we're in a pandemic and you cannot physically, knock on someone's door and be like, hey, tell me about your problem. You guys went to the root of your social media channels and actually started building clout around, your story. Like, I think the storytelling on your part is absolutely great too. That's a separate thing, but being able to kind of garner that interest on a social community and actually getting that information and using that information to build your solution, really impressed. Especially done in such a short time. I know you guys, I follow you guys on Instagram, so I know you guys have quite the following. Carissa, how many followers do you have today?
Let me check. Right now it's 645, I believe.
645 followers, and I know you have pretty active commentaries too, so congratulations. That's not easy, especially done in a few weeks. So yeah, I also, and it's been mentioned before, I love how you're working with credible partners in ensuring that you're providing reliable information. So I know there's a lot of work that's gone behind this for your groups, and amongst even, of course, having a full workload at school. So congratulations. Thank you. I really enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you all for your feedback and your comments.
Great, thank you. Okay, team 3, you're up.
Sorry, I would say. Can everybody see the presentation? Okay. Good morning. Today we're going to be talking about youth mental health and a possible solution. First, we're going to introduce ourselves. Hello, my name is Maya.
Hello, my name is Fanny.
Hi, my name is Jaden.
And our other team member is Matthew. I'm sure that you all remember being in school and your heart is racing the night before a test. You try and read your notes, but your brain is too foggy and you aren't absorbing any of the information. This is a reality for many students and has been for years. To remedy this, students often go to social media or streaming services to distract themselves from the overwhelming feelings of stress and anxiety. We think we have a possible solution to this plight that many students face. Youth need healthy ways to deal with large workloads. There are not enough resources in schools or enough education about what students can do when they feel overwhelmed. Youth mental health is very fragile during high school age. It is very common for high school students to stress out due to the short amount of time they have to complete large tasks. While schools have funds, they do not do much about this. We feel this is a really big problem.
Stress is a big problem that impacts a lot of students every year, as students are the most vulnerable group to mental health illnesses. Although students are the most exposed to these issues, there are very few of them who actually get help.
Stress has always been something that's been talked about in regards to work or school. More recently, it's been brought to light that students today also deal with stress from outside sources, like friends and family. Stress, as we have talked about, can cause problems for students later in life. If we give today's youth tools to successfully manage their stress and maintain productivity, it will help them in the future. Giving students ways to manage their stress will help them become better adults and improve their functioning. We can raise a new generation that takes care of their mental health and uses healthy ways to deal with stress. Doing this will also dispel any stigmas around mental health and stress. We can reach out to students and spread awareness through social media, community engagements, and education platforms. This will create a brighter future. To address the problem of youth mental health and dealing with stress in a productive manner, our team is proposing the Stress Help button. The Stress Help button is an app that can be implemented on phones, hopefully through iOS or Android, and on computers. The app is generated towards students and youth ages 13 to 21. The app will be free, but you can pay for consultations with someone for a personalized and professionally tailored experience. The button is the main function of the app, but the ultimate goal is to give the user tools to deal with their stress and to get them to the point where they do not need the help button. They can move on to using the organizational tools, for example, on the app. We believe this app is beneficial to helping young people and students manage their stress and expose them to more permanent solutions. How we believe the app will work. Once downloaded, you'll be prompted to answer a short survey about your schedule, your stress levels, and what you're currently doing to manage. After completing the initial quiz, you'll be given a stress button plan based off your answers. The plan will give you suggestions on what your stress button can do for you once you push it. It can, for example, block certain sites for a certain amount of time, help you manage your schedule for you, give you affirmations and rewards, etc. The app will guide the user on how to manage their stress with technological aid. The user can then change their features to their liking because everyone has different ways of dealing with stress. After the user inputs their wants and specifications, the Stress Help button is ready for use. So whenever the user feels they are stressed, they can press the button and the app will implement the predetermined plan.
As our goal is to help students reduce their stress levels, we hope that our app will help students improve their performance in school, experience fewer health issues caused by stress like anxiety and depression, and also improve their overall quality of life.
What we would like from you. To make this dream of dispelling stigmas a reality, we're going to need the help of mental health experts, programmers, and investors, and people to spread the word about youth mental health. The app will support itself through donations and through paid options on the app. We will promote youth health outside of the app to spread awareness. For example, on social media, such as like Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. We will also With the goal of the app being to help students to get to a place where they do not need an emergency button, we hope to get to a point where the services that we just provide are just tools and methods to help deal with stress. In conclusion, we believe that if students have the right tools to reduce stress and maintain productivity, we will create a well-equipped and innovative generation ready to take on anything. Thank you. Please consider joining the cause and helping us achieve our goals.
Great, thank you. Sarah?
Great presentation. I really liked the design of your slides, and it was very clear what information you were sharing. I think I would have liked to see a little bit more of how you will reach your target customer. I know there's quite a few mental health apps out there right now, so having an understanding of how you will be able to differentiate yourselves and reach your desired consumer is really important. But I did see daylight between you and your competitor where you had the quiz to help the user design a plan. And I really liked how you thought of how to personalize that aspect of using your product. So good job with that. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Harvey?
Great delivery, great presentation, nice graphics, well timed. Yeah, it's an important issue, mental health, and I think what you want to do is to see where you might be different and in tackling this issue. I like the fact that your app is very user friendly. My only suggestion is to maybe include some partnering pieces in there a little bit more. For example, one great resource is 211. They're an agency that obviously provides telephone support, but they have a ton of data and stats on mental health calls and the types of those calls. And those might be useful for you to include in working with them. They're a wonderful agency. I don't work for them, but I've worked with them in the past at the city. So well done and on an important topic. Thanks.
Great, thank you. Saeed?
Yeah, very good presentation, tackling a very important topic. Yeah, I would say one of the really nice things to see was how well your presentation was. The app seems very user-friendly. One of the things that I would have liked to see, and I remember you mentioning this, it's based on predetermined plans. So the user will provide information and you have plans for them. I would have liked to see what those plans are based on. So not like a lot of technical detail, but just a bit more about what kind of plans, what are some of the outputs going to be. So that's something that I would have liked to see.
Dennis?
Hi, congratulations to the team. It is a very good job, and the topic is a important issue for the time being. The mental stress for the young people, and they picked a very good topic to develop. And one thing I wish to say is that it is not that they did not the team did not make very specific how to get the resources to proceed with the plan, and the app development is not an easy job. Maybe need experts assistance, and also if they ask for payment for some specific services, then it would deter the people getting the help. So that maybe the team may look into the issue how to get the people to use the service and try to avoid payment from the youth in order to get the service. Thank you.
Thank you. Barbara?
Yes, great presentation. Really enjoyed learning about the topic. Definitely, there is definitely a need given the situation and environment that we're living in right now. What I think for me is I really like the idea, but at the end of the day, it seemed like it was just an idea and not really, like a thorough pilot plan that was kind of shared with us. And what I mean by that is, I think Dennis already alluded to, is apps are very expensive. There's also two different types of apps. Are you talking about a web app or are you talking about a mobile app? The latter one is way more expensive, and we're talking about like, anywhere upwards of $50,000, right? Depending on how complex your app is. That's a lot of money, right? For something that you need to show proof of concept first. And when I say proof of concept, it may have been a very, like a makeshift prototype of what, this solution that you are offering would look like before you even pay money to develop an app. And that's often what you would do in a company is you would create this, what we call minimum viable product that I had discussed with you guys before, is creating that or to get a proof of concept, to test it on people first, to ensure that there is a need for this solution before you invest tons of money into something. So that's one thing I would have liked to see addressed in the presentation. But again, I know it is a very complex thing to tackle. So I do, applaud you for everything that you have already done. It would have my recommendation is more for a next step to kind of further build out your great idea. And I would have liked to see probably a little bit more user research, anecdotally, like how, from talking to your end users, getting that information from them. And that's how you derived your solution. Again, building the solution to a real problem that you've actually gained from the original source would have been something I would have liked to see. And of course, the last thing is just a budget in terms of how you would have used the $1,000 for your pilot program.
Thank you for all the feedback.
A great job. Really enjoyed your presentation.
Great job, Team 3. So everyone else can take a sigh of relief. The last presentation, Team 5, you're up.
Hi everyone. Our project is about mental health for teens and we're called our Resilient Inner Voices. Our goal is to make teens more mentally resilient, especially during this pandemic. We have created a social media platform that features anonymous stories about teen mental health struggles related to stress and resources to alleviate stress.
So this is our table of contents. We'll first start by explaining the problem, followed by our solution to the problem, and then our plan of action for that solution.
Now we will be presenting our team and our own personal ways of coping with stress. So hi, I'm Lauren, and I will often exercise and go outside to take walks to deal with my stress.
Good morning. My name is Jason, and I read books to cope with stress.
I'm Ingrid, and I enjoy cooking and baking to relax and relieve stress. Our teens are more stressed than ever. And here's the problem that we would like to address. Although teens don't have to worry about bills, a career, or holding down a household, they experience different sources of stress. They deal with issues like bullying, peer pressure, and academic issues, which can be very stressful. Especially during the pandemic, many are unmotivated and down. Teen stress, if unmanaged, can have dire consequences and potentially lead to severe depression, eating disorders, drug addiction, running away from home, crime and violence, as well as various mental health issues.
This is a continuation of our problem analysis. We've included some stats from the American Psychological Association, or APA, that addresses this problem. The first is teens that have reported higher levels of stress than adults. The second is 55% of teens consider social media a source of social support. And the last one, the third one, is that a supportive environment can help prevent teen stress. So here's another survey conducted by APA. So as you can see, 83% of teens surveyed report that school is their primary source of stress. Next, you can see that 34% from that survey say that the next school year will be more stressful. 31% also say that they feel overwhelmed as a result from the stress, and 20% of the people surveyed say that they have high levels of daily stress. We've also interviewed a youth service worker from Hong Fook Mental Health Service who mentioned that teens who have already been struggling with stress are now further affected by the negative effects of the pandemic from social isolation.
Our solution is to create a social media platform that addresses teen stress and mental health issues, promote resources that are helpful, and collaborate with people to make a bigger impact against mental health. Here's an overview of our solution and what we're hoping to achieve in the next couple of months. First, we are planning to create a safe forum for teens to connect with the community and talk about any of their problems. Our team will also be providing helpful resources and tips to alleviate stress. For example, we will be mentioning some relaxation techniques and sharing some motivational quotes. Another goal of ours is to host 4 to 5 online yoga classes starting in March through Zoom for anyone to join and to just have fun and relax. Moreover, we would like to feature anonymous stories about teen mental health struggles related to stress onto our social media platform. With this, more teens will be able to open up about their struggles and realize that they aren't alone during this pandemic. Lastly, we would be partnering with other mental health organizations, and we have already connected with the Hong Fook Mental Health Service.
Our target audience is teens. Young Canadians are suffering from rising levels of anxiety, stress, depression, and even suicide. Close to 20%, or 1 in 5, have a mental health issue. According to Stats Canada, there are 2.2 million teens between the ages of 14 and 19 in Canada, which means that there are around 440,000 youth teens in Canada that have a mental health issue.
If we can help high school teens who are stressed from school and the pandemic, then they will be able to manage and cope with stress more efficiently. We hope that they will be less stressed, have access to a strong supportive network, and be better equipped to face issues and conflicts.
So this is our timeline up to this point and a bit into the future. So in January, we chose our platform for our project, which was an Instagram page, and created and opened our profile. This month, February 2021, we are working on uploading more and more content and gain more followers so we can start building awareness and attract other people. In March, we plan to start yoga classes and recruit anonymous story submissions.
In order for our project to continue running, we would like some support to run the yoga classes, and our budget is around $500. Although the instructor who we have contacted is willing to teach voluntarily, if our lessons are successful, we would like to support them as well and branch out with more sessions. We would also like to have the opportunity to invite guest speakers such as counselors and music therapists to speak more on this topic and teach us activities on how to improve our mental health during these unprecedented times. Our budget for this would be around $400. We would also like to give the opportunity to our followers to submit small positive writing pieces about their mental health and have them possibly win a small monetary prize. We would be splitting the $100 into 10 $10 prizes to give everyone more opportunities to receive them.
We now have some of our content that we have already posted that we would like to share. So this is a snapshot of our Instagram page and all the posts that we have at the moment. So the picture on the left is our logo and it features our Instagram handle, which is our Resilient Inner Voices. We currently have just over 1,000 followers and the number is steadily increasing every day. And here's some of the content that we have already posted. So the one at the top is a mental health resource that we wanted to share. We explained how it can be accessed and used, as well as linked it in our Instagram bio. The one at the bottom is a series of stress relieving tips that we found are very helpful and that we wanted to share.
Here are some of the comments we've received under our post. We can see that a positive impact is being made. This is the form that we created for the Anonymous Story Share Initiative.
And we have just started the Anonymous Story Share Initiative, but we are still waiting for submissions. So this is some sample content that we have that will help us with our Anonymous Story Share Initiative, and we would like to share similar content on our Instagram platform. So the first one is about a Brazilian artist and her struggles with depression but how she is trying to build a positive relationship with her mental health. The next is about a dancer that struggled with her body image, which negatively affected her mental health and physical health.
This story is about a poetess who originally used her platform for poetry, but turned to sharing her experience with anxiety. These are the goals for our project, and we're looking to achieve them by May. We're hoping to gain a bigger following on Instagram, which is 3,000 followers, upload at least 100 times, and share 50 anonymous stories. In terms of the yoga lessons, we're expecting at least 20 participants.
We will be measuring our success in 6 ways. First, we'll look at the number of people that follow our Instagram account to see how many individuals we're able to reach through our platform. Success can also be measured by how many people interact with our content, such as the likes and comments and the number of anonymous story submissions we're able to recruit. We will also measure our success during the yoga lessons by seeing how many people participate and by creating a feedback form to see if the lessons are making an impact and how we can improve them. Lastly, the number of submissions from the positive writing pieces about mental health will also measure our success. So thank you for your time. We hope that we can work together to raise more awareness for mental health and help teenagers relieve the stress they feel today. Feel free to contact us at the email listed, and also please follow our Instagram account. Thank you.
Great presentation again. All right, Sarah.
Yeah, really great presentation. You had really great stats throughout the presentation, and I liked how you had measures of success that were tied to the mission that you want to achieve. It was overall, I thought, really well thought out. Again, I would just like to see how you're going to reach your target customer. There's lots of platforms and websites and information out there, but how are you going to reach the people that you want and need to reach? But I do think that you have some very doable interventions planned, and I know that writing for wellness and yoga are definitely evidence-based. So good job choosing two that actually have research behind them as well. Thanks.
Great. Harvey?
Yeah, I love the use of stats. The one thing that we talk about in mental health that I think is a bit of a gap, and I think you guys could address, is you touched upon it at the beginning of your presentation. What causes mental health for youth differ from one person to the next? One might be recreation, another might be something else. It'd be interesting for you when you do your monitoring, again, not just to look at number of posts, but again, think about some sort of online survey that you would do on a live basis that would look at what causes mental health for some youth and what their coping mechanisms are. I think, as a previous city researcher, I think that's an area that's untapped. That if you do that, you'd have a source of information that talks a little bit about the causes and the different ways of coping. Fantastic presentation. Thanks very much.
Great, thank you. Saeed.
Yeah, very good presentation. I really liked how grounded your solution towards this problem was through writing as well as yoga, and each step of the way. I think you went back and highlighted the problem, and I think that's something that needs to be done often. People end up forgetting about the issue at hand as you move through your presentation. So that's something I liked. I would have actually liked to see a bit more on how yoga and writing has been helpful in the past, because I mean there's ample research on this. There's a lot of other organizations that have also have had good results based on these. So it would have been nice to see what are other whether these have been successful or how they have been successful in the past. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Dennis?
An excellent presentation on this hot topic, youth mental health. I'm not aware that so many youth recognize the mental health is an important item in their life. And it is a very good presentation, and they have very good plan with a good budget, schedule, and success measurements. And also in a very short period, they already have over 1,000 followers in the IG. Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations, guys. Barbara.
Yeah, I really like the content. I mean, I'm a big social media fan about, and particularly I love the fact that, you guys use so little resources already and been able to actually show results, people following you, people actually commenting and liking your posts. So I really enjoyed that you shared that on your presentation. I like the fact that your idea is very feasible and it's very thoroughly planned out, and that you've already started taking action on your pilot. And what I would have liked to see more of is just how you can kind of take your idea to the next level now that you have 1,000 followers, right? And I know you guys are now starting your anonymous stories initiative. I would have actually liked to see, how you could expand to different platforms, right? And experimented outside of just Instagram as a next step. But I great work, really enjoy it, and yeah, I really like the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you for all the feedback.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, actually. That is a wrap on all the presentations. The judges are actually going to take a few moments to break out into a breakout room and deliberate. But and before they do go, I think everyone deserves like a round of applause. This was very, very challenging. Public speaking is never easy, and you guys all crushed it. Very proud of the last 5 months. All right. Matt?
Are we ready? I can open the...
I think so.
Okay.
Bye.
I hope everyone enjoyed it as much as I did. I was actually very impressed. Like, considering, like, Sarah, as you saw from day one, where we were at, like, this last couple of weeks has been like, I don't know what happened, but like a fire lit under them. They literally transformed overnight. So
Yeah, well, I think I was on a call like January 20th, like actually a month ago, when they were doing their initial pitches to us, and we were like, oh no. Like, so many of the ideas hadn't formed at all. And there's like so many team dynamics happening that was somewhat concerning, but they really all pulled this off pretty fantastically.
Yeah, I would echo that. I actually did not see one situation of anybody looking overly nervous or, stuttering or doing anything of nervousness that many often do, even as adults. And I thought the presentation flow was really good amongst all of them, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm. I was also impressed with the presentations themselves. I was like, they're a lot better than most presentations I've seen from adults. So.
Man, if you had me doing this, I'd probably flunk if I was. They really did a good job.
I just shared my screen, which is the scorecard.
I'm just filling out my scorecard now. I didn't really fill it out as I went, but I'm just looking back over my notes.
No problem.
I just sent mine, Barbara, to Derek.
Yours are in already. I think we're just waiting for Sarah's, and then we'll be to tally and talk about the winner. So just some background, whoever is the winner today is going to receive $1,000 grant funds. The money
sorry, just to interrupt, just because I know I have to get my scores in, but I'm not able, for some reason, I'm not able to write in it. I have view only access.
Oh, give me a second.
Can you try refreshing? Just refreshing the browser.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, amazing. Magic. Okay. Great. Okay. Sorry to interrupt. Go on.
All right. The money is going to be held with Vision Youth in a reserve fund, which they can then submit invoice against their budget and actual in order to draw down on this money. And that's really just to kind of have a little bit more oversight and control over the funds when awarded to teenagers, and also to assist them kind of from a money, financial, and coaching opportunity. They will continue to receive mentorship support from Vision Youth. And the idea is that this money is going to be used towards this 12-month pilot program. So as we deliberate and figure out kind of who is going to be using these funds, just keeping in mind, some of these facts in terms of how they are going to use the money, because I know kind of, at least from my perspective, when I was listening to some of them, it was kind of very clear some of the teams had invested a lot more time in planning out their pilot versus some other teams who were very much like, oh, here's my idea. And that's just my personal opinion and take on some of these presentations. Great.
It looks like Team 5 is leading.
Team 5? Oh, yeah, Team 5 is leading.
Followed by Team 2.
Also,
Team 1.
Sarah, their fate is in your hands.
Oh God, the pressure's on. I should have been doing this when, but I was taking so many notes. I'm really also bad at scoring with numbers for some reason. It's like the numbers seem so arbitrary.
No worries. And I think that's part of why we're deliberating. Once you put in the numbers, we can kind of like see the ranking and we can kind of make sure we're all aligned on, what the numbers are saying versus what we think.
Yeah.
I'd have very much liked to have Harvey as my high school teachers, 90s across the board.
I have a heart for students. I really do. I know how hard it was for me to get mentors. It was really hard for me to get mentors back then.
Likewise, that was kind of always been my thing. Is I feel like if I had very good mentors growing up, I could have done so much more.
Yeah.
Just the time I would have saved of, like tough lessons that could have been avoided. And more focus, actually. Having focus was really important.
Yeah.
Actually, I wish something like this existed, because then it would have saved me so much trouble when I started my own company.
Well, kudos for you for offering that real financial help too. That's nice. That's really good.
Yeah, we actually just felt that these ideas are so great. We definitely want to encourage them to continue it outside of the program, and we thought this would be one way to kind of do that. But it's still an experiment, so we'll see how that goes. First year.
Well, so far I thought it went really well.
Thank you. We were talking about this internally amongst the team, and we were just like looking at these presentations, seeing the kids actually present today. It made the last 5 months of craziness all worth it.
I think when looking at this whole process, I think the generational differences in how, we would have done things as youth back in the day, now, obviously the big difference is social media. And I think that one of the things that as we move forward, social media is hugely important, but I think we must not also forget face-to-face interaction, right? And I know the city has had in the past in some of the youth program groups that we do youth focus groups with face-to-face youth coming in and sharing ideas. And those are much difficult to do. I get it. But it would be, overall reaction is to make sure that we don't forget about those individual face-to-face interactions. The interactions between people on social media is quite different when it's face-to-face.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. I do love the fact that they do rely on what they know, which is social media. Looks like the numbers are in. First place is Team 5, which is our inner resilient voices. And then Team 2, which is, I'm going to butcher this, Project Bajuan, at second place. And then basically third place is Team 1, which is Bridge the Gap. Bridge the Gap. So so judges, what do you think? I maybe I'll start. For me, it's kind of a tough choice between Team 2 and 5. I only because with Team 2, I really enjoyed their presentation and their spin on it, which is an actual social enterprise, and it's much more of a daring I think, and more, a daring initiative. Also, every single project was very well researched, but I think they stood out because they actually went and had multiple conversations with organizations and actually reaching out proactively on social media, and this is background that you wouldn't know, to go out and actually talk to Indigenous folks about, who own businesses. So they actually did a lot of research talking, primary, secondary research sources, which I think is, you can see in their work, in their presentation. Team 5, again, really, really cool idea, very feasible stuff. It's definitely a safer way of approaching it. But where I think they stand out is the fact that they've already started their pilot. They've already started testing, experimenting, and building content around it, which is a different approach, not necessarily better or worse, just different compared to Team 2. So that's where I kind of struggle between 2 and 5. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think Team 5 has the most doable project out of all of them. I mean, I kind of wrote off Team 6 and Team 1 just because I feel like it's harder for them to even create the product that they're trying to create. But Team 2, I agree with you. I like this. Obviously, I love the social enterprise spin on what they're doing. I'm just not sure that there's that many Indigenous artisans who are looking to be connected in such a formal way. I think the informality of the way that they sell things sort of works to their advantage, if I've understood in some situations. And that's just from, my own personal chatting with Indigenous artisans on the couple occasions that I have. I'm not sure if they really want to have too much formal attention on them.
I wonder if their idea would be more feasible if we had coached them to kind of go the direction of I like the idea that they are basically creating administrative services, right? And the foundation infrastructure to market their business that most of these people wouldn't have. So I wonder if we had coached them to say, I think you mentioned it, Sarah, what if it's not just artisans, basically it's any Indigenous business that wants to get connected to the outer world and have somebody help them with marketing, somebody help them drive traffic to or even help them build an online store, right? That they don't kind of create the Shopify, I don't know, whatever of what they do. I know the last thing you should do in entrepreneurship, which is compare yourself to another brand to explain your brand. But I wonder if that would make it a lot more feasible.
Yeah. And I know they partnered with, or they are having conversations with Indigenous organizations, but I'm just wondering how many Indigenous artisans they actually spoke with in terms of building this.
I know from background, I'm surprised they went to just the angle of artisans, because I know for a fact that they have talked, when Jessica worked with them, I know they had talked to not necessarily just artisans, they talked to businesses. So I don't know kind of where in the mix that things changed and they decided to just focus on artisans, but I do know the fact that in their study research, they had reached out to like businesses, which would have probably made their model a lot more scalable.
Yeah, totally.
But then I guess that drives back to, you know, what do we strongly feel Team 5 is the best use of the grant funds?
I don't remember what their budget was, to be honest, or if they even had a budget.
They matched it exactly at $1,000. Specifically over the 12 months, they wanted to give out cash prizes to incentivize people to do the anonymous stories, I believe, and also support some of the online Zoom classes that they wanted to do. There's like a $500 budget there. I forgot what the other 400 was for.
Barbara, how about the second? Do they get any prize?
No, unfortunately, we only have one grant, money from one grant.
I see.
But if we strongly feel that they're so close, our Vision Youth is prepared to give 2 grants. If we strongly feel that there is potential, that there is going to be real outcome and impact in more than one project, it would just need to be a very special case.
It's Harvey here. Yeah, Team 5 was incredibly organized. Delivery, they dotted the I's and crossed the T's. There's a couple of ways that I looked at this. One is, you know, did they do all that? Did they check off all the boxes and all the requirements that you asked for? The other one is to step away and look at all of these projects in terms of its relevancy. You call it community connection to the public. And that kind of changes things around, right? So mental health, hugely important. I think vaping is way up there in terms of community want and need to understand. And in fact, that's why I raised the issue of parents and families. I think there's a gap there. So if you look at it from a social need, Team 4 is up there. Oddly, I thought, here's another thing, transition to university, Team 1. Not a lot done on that. Okay, it's a much more simpler issue than the more bigger ones. I get that, but it was something different, and that's why I scored them a little higher, because to me it's about something that hasn't been done before, or something that is really good on something that's already done a lot of. As for Team 2, I thought they did really well. I do agree that there should have been a connection to businesses and not just artisans. I've worked with Anishwabe and others, and there's a lot going on in those organizations as well. But otherwise, I agree. I think that Team 5 was good. I personally gave higher marks to vaping and, believe it or not, Team 1, because I just thought it was different. But otherwise, I'm fine with either Team 5 and 2. I scored those relatively high as well.
Okay. So
yeah,
I think we need to make a decision then. Do we award it to Team 5 or do we award it to both Team 5 and 2?
I think 5 could use the money more wisely, especially with a little bit more coaching, where they could help if they wanted to help formalize some Indigenous artisans or just connect them. It just seems like our inner voice didn't really have a good case for a budget.
My comments on Team 5 before need to be reiterated. I really think that we need to break down the pieces of mental health. And if you look at mental health stats from 211, it's a very complex thing. And to just say that, oh, it's a mental health issue, that's great. But it is so complex with different causal effects and different response mechanisms. It would be very interesting to tease that out. And therefore, you get that data momentum going. That information can be used for governments to tailor specific programs, whether they be employment, housing, or health.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So should we just do a vote? Just raise your hand. Team 5. Okay. And then, okay, so I guess we unanimously have an agreement. It's going to be Team 5. Although if we do announce Team 2 as a close second and give them a second prize, what are your thoughts on that? Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I really like the way that they were tackling this issue. My only problem with their pitch was the fact that there is a certain plateau that you reach, and I think, of course, other than the business that other people have pointed out, there's a plateau that you reach on social media, and then you don't really go beyond that, and that has been shown in so many cases. So I would have that's one issue with their pitch, but then as a whole, the way they're tackling the problem is very interesting. So I would be for giving them something.
It's Harvey again. Syed, that's a very good point. As you know, if you don't keep an issue alive with something different that's evolving, then people won't go back. I think mental health is going to be always there. And as I said before, it's a complex thing it's more than just communication, talking. We need to understand the layers of it. With Team 2, yes, Syed's right. It's got a certain lifespan, and how you broaden it is I don't know.
Okay, so I think maybe let's go with just Team 5 because it's just a more manageable budget. We know they're going to use it wisely. Team 2 is just unsure. I don't even think $500 would be meaningful for them to get to where they need to for their pilot. So, okay, we have a winner then. And Sarah, would you do us the honors of announcing the winner and why they're the winner, if that's okay with you?
Okay, I'm still confused. Which one is the winner now?
Oh, Team 5.
Team 5.
Yeah. Which is our inner resilient voices.
And why did we all decide that they're the winner?
I think from my point of view is the fact that they have already, they basically started on their pilot. They've already, shown that they have progress. I like the fact that they laid out a budget that was extremely, it's just the fact that their pilot is very feasible. They've already have a proof of concept and they need to just build on it. And with the $1,000, I think they could definitely use it effectively to achieve the results. And not to mention, it's a very timely topic. That was my perspective.
It's Harvey. I think it's also scalable, as we talked a bit before. Now, I preface my statement in that I think that part of my decision criteria is a topic that would be beneficial to as many risk groups as possible. And I think that mental health is one of those.
Great. Syed, do you have any points you wanted to add, or Dennis?
No, we already discussed in detail, so that I support to give the prize to team 5. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay, Derek, we are ready.
Okay, perfect. I just sent the message to Jessica, and she's informed that the information in front of us are finalized, and Team 5 is now our winners. I'll ask Matt to pull us back.
Babe, could you just take him, put him in a room to sleep? Sorry, I just need a few minutes. Sorry.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. Or actually, you know what? Put him back here. I'll go outside. No, I got outside. Okay. Sorry, I'm just kidding myself.
I know Matt's going to pull us back, but if we want to click the leave room button to join back the main group, then we're ready to announce our winners.
All right, it looks like we're all back. So yes. All right, so I guess drum roll. Who wants to announce the winner of the first Social Innovation Academy social venture project is?
Yeah, I think I was granted the honors of doing this, so thanks so much. I feel very special that I'm the one who gets to announce this. It was really tough for the judges, and I know literally every single competition, they preface announcing the winner by saying that, but it's always true. We recognize that all of you put so much hard work and research and time and energy into all of your projects, and they're all really incredible. So this was a really difficult decision, but unfortunately there's only one $1,000 grant, and drum roll, it is going to Team 5, Our Inner Resilient Voice. So good job, Team 5. Thank you so much. And this is because we really noted the progress that you folks have already made with your campaign. And we see that this is an incredibly feasible pilot for what you want to do and to tackle the issue. We really saw the link between your problem, solution, and the activities within that to move the dial on mental health or mental wellness. And it's an incredibly timely topic. I think we could all use a little bit more yoga, a little bit more writing time. And we see this as being scalable. So if the pilot works out, then we really want to see you taking this into more and more communities for more people to benefit off of. So great job to Team 5, but really great job to everyone. And thanks for letting me announce it.
Thank you, Sarah. And just a little bit more information for winners. For congratulations, Team 5. It was a wonderful presentation, but as the Honorable Mary mentioned today already, I think every single team here, all the participants in our program, you're all winners. I know it's very cliche to say, but it really is true. It's about taking that first step and taking action and removing yourselves from the sidelines. That is really what counts and what we really wanted out of this program. So you should certainly all be very proud of your achievements today and keep marching forward with your passion and enthusiasm to find solutions to community issues. And even though you may not have received a grant fund, the Vision Youth team, the Social Innovation Academy staff are here to help you bring your idea to the next step if that's what you want to pursue. So don't hesitate to continue using Discord. Don't hesitate to continue messaging the teams, your mentors, myself, and the staff to help you with your ideas if you come across a roadblock. We are here to help you. And for our winners, you will be using your grant fund to, of course, help fund your pilot project that we learned about today. And as the granting team, you will have the benefit of continued support system while you implement your idea over the next 12 months through January 2021. And you will be matched with one or more mentors that will help you with your idea. And you will continue to benefit from the support of the Vision Youth Social Innovation Academy staff as a sounding board during your implementation stage. So we look forward to the progress and results of your pilot project. And of course, thank you parents and mentors and our facilitators and judges for joining us today. I hope everyone enjoyed these innovative solutions proposed by our first cohort as much as I did. I was certainly very, very impressed to see, the results of, the fruits of your labor over the last 5 months. So this certainly brings us to our finale, and I'd like to invite my co-chair Jessica to join me in sharing just some final thoughts. And just to give you a little bit of background, this is kind of Jessica, myself, the board, and Matthew and Derek's kind of baby. This is our social impact project, where Jessica and I started the academy kind of with this simple idea. We wanted to create a program that connects youth with the cutting edge thinking and hands-on experience that would help cultivate their interest and engagement in finding solutions to local community issues. And I think today, this demo day is a testament to that. And fast forward 12 months, we're honored to be here to celebrate the achievements of everybody here in our first cohort. We want to commend all the efforts and initiatives of the entire class. I know it wasn't easy with a full, workload from school. And, of course, being in a pandemic. So what you've done here today took a lot of perseverance, grit, and leadership to step up to this challenge and really spark this positive change in the issues you've identified. And all the ideas we heard today were super innovative and impressive. And to wrap up, we will be sending each team a quick review in terms of feedback from the judges today, from your mentors, about your ideas. And it will be also a good platform for you to share any of your feedback on the program or things that you'd like to see more to help your idea grow. So on to Jessica.
Yes, we'll also be circulating a survey in Discord. So please, go onto Discord and fill out that survey. And again, give us as much feedback as, this program only gets better with your feedback and your help. So just a note, we also want to take a moment to thank our friends and partners in the community. So of course, Ryerson Social Venture Zone, the City of Toronto, Ryerson University, jack.org, .fire, Concord Pacific Group for your generous donation. Thank you. All of our guests and speakers, and workshop facilitators, to our judges here today, the mentors, the parents, our staff, of course, everyone who pulled this together. It's been quite a journey and quite a lot of work. So thank you so much to everyone for taking the time to show up and, be a part of this. And I guess most importantly, we want to thank our graduates. As Barbara mentioned, this program was designed for you. Now more than ever, we need youth like yourselves to realize your leadership potential, to be able to see the world for what it could be and understand the road to getting there starts with understanding the issues. We've seen how you are all capable of creating thoughtful solutions through the research you've done and the relationships you've built. We've challenged you to take control, to believe in yourselves and your ideas. And you guys all stepped up. You did it. Like, look what you've done in 5 months. It's incredible. You've all proven that you're capable of creating your own success. And even in adversity amidst a pandemic, you showed up and you were present and you delivered. So as you all embark into this next phase as young leaders in our community, we hope that you take what you've learned in this program and apply it to all aspects of your lives, embracing the uphill battle to come as you find your voices and create your story, and hopefully with a little bit more empathy, because that actually brings a different type of satisfaction. So we want to thank everyone who joined us today, and we couldn't be more proud of just everything we've accomplished. And we look forward to seeing everybody in SIA 2022. Registrations start in the summer. So please don't forget to stay connected with us on Instagram or subscribe to our newsletter or visit the website at visionyouth.ca. And again, thank you so much for everything, your participation and your presence, and just thank you. And be very proud of everything you've accomplished, regardless of winning.
And there is one more thing. We will be sending you your certificate of completion signed off by the Honorable Mary Ng in the mail in the coming weeks. So keep an eye out for that.
Shall we do a group picture?
Yeah, I think we should. 1 second. If everyone can turn on their cameras. Thank you. Just give it a couple more seconds. See how much I can fit everybody. I think I can. Alrighty. One more second, Flora. Let's see. Oh, Fanny. Jeanette. Almost there. Okay, I'm gonna take it. 1, 2, 3, smile. All right. Congratulations, guys, graduates. Thank you for being part of our first cohort. It was our honor and pleasure to coach you guys.
A great program. Thank you for involving me. Yeah, thanks.
Same for
Thanks,
me.
Eric. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.